Some people get married for so many reasons, either to have wealth or steal wealth or so many other.
She's added a layer to this conversation I wasn't expecting. How do you decide what you can spend and when you can't afford something?
Okay.
Because you may look at your bank account and
Yeah.
you're like, I have money. I have enough to buy this.
But is that a need or a want?
Okay.
Yeah, we are letting even children stay home when they are over 30 years. Yes. So that's also a burden, like the burden on a family, the burden of the firstborn, the burden of you as a parent. If you have paid school fees for that child to finish university, I think they should leave.
You mentioned that, many people don't think about an emergency fund, for example, like when they're laid off, or they rely on the man in their life and they're like, he will take care of us, and they don't plan for that. I'm big about women, but I'm sure your book covers both genders. It can help anyone.
Yes, yeah, it can help anyone.
When you were laid off, did you find yourself in a similar situation?
Yes.
So it's also first-hand experience.
First-hand experience. So I was laid off twice, and I didn't have emergency fund that will last me 3 months. One thing made me change is like I worked in a payroll department when I got laid off.
Yes.
And then I would see how I was paid $30 an hour. The payroll, the checks I was making, everybody was making over 100,000 to 200,000, 300,000. So I'm like, why am I in this? We here making taking home 50,000.
Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for these conversations on Crystal One-on-One. Now, we happen to be on location at Opain Home Uganda. They bring you luxury furniture just like the ones we are sitting on. We have a sofa set that is leather with wood and so many deco pieces around us. There's a beautiful dining set behind me. And they also take care of your cabinetry and your spaces, from your kitchens to your bathrooms. So come by and see for yourself. Now today, my guest is all about talking about generational wealth, finances, setting yourself up, but not just yourself, your family, your children, their children. And that's not something that we see too often. Many cases, it's all about, let's just get rich. But how do you make sure that the wealth that you build stays in your family? So let me break it down for you. She is a generational wealth strategist, a first-generation success architect. Now, she has done keynote speeches and workshops in different countries, from Canada to the US to Kenya to Rwanda and here in Uganda. She is an author as well of 3 books. Her first book, A Guide to Building Generational Wealth, is actually an award-winning book, and she can tell us a lot more about that and how she found herself on this journey. I have Kakura Ninsima joining me today.
Thank you very much.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's lovely to have you on the show.
Oh, thanks for inviting me to your show.
Anything that can set us up for life and make us achieve our full potential, I am here for the conversation.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So, my dear, you are Ugandan.
I am Ugandan, yeah.
Born in Uganda.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I guess people will be wondering, okay, how did you find yourself to other spaces? When did you leave Uganda?
I left Uganda about 20 years ago.
Okay.
I went for school in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And after graduating school, I got a job and stayed there. But I've always come back to come and visit family. My family still lives here.
So you didn't forget us?
No. I love Uganda.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So my family still lives here. I come for Christmas, sometimes Easter, sometimes Any vacation that I get, I always come back home.
Because sometimes people leave and then they stay away for years. And then when they come back, it's also very difficult. Because that means, do you live in Canada when you're not in Uganda?
Yes,
Is that where
I live in Canada when I'm not in
Okay,
Uganda.
so
yes.
the life is very different. Order, how things work, very different.
Yes.
The weather. Which part of Canada are you in?
The cold part
Oh.
in Alberta, the province of Alberta, the city Calgary. It's very cold. Sometimes it can go to minus 50. Yes, I know. And then sometimes it can go to 30, 20. Yeah, in the winter time.
Winter time.
Yeah.
So it must be really funny when it rains here and we're like, it's so cold. And you
Yes.
see us Ugandans.
No, but when I go to the village in Bishenyi, in my village, it's really cold. Like I find it so cold. I have to have like a jacket.
Really?
Yes.
So
yes.
Bishenyi is home.
Yes.
Is that where you went to school, where you grew up to begin with?
Yes, for my maybe grade 1 to 5, I went to my village school, and then in grade 5 to university to grade 12, I went to Mbara.
Okay.
I was in St. Lucia's Primary School, and then I went to Mary Hills High School.
Oh, you went to Mary Hills.
Yes.
So was that the whole of your secondary, like
Yes.
S1 to S4,
Yes.
S1 to S6?
S1 to S4.
Okay, S1 to S4.
Yeah, and
then
S6, I went to Progressive Secondary School in Bweyogerere.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So how did
it
you
was
end
first at Makere, somewhere in Makere, and then they moved it to Bweyogerere.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then after my high school, that's got grade 12, I think.
Yes.
Then I went to Canada for university.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you go to do?
I did.
What degree was that?
I did a double major, bachelor's in economic development and business finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like to take people back. At that point in life, did you know what you wanted to do?
No.
Because there's so much pressure on young people now
Yeah.
to know.
Yes.
Like you have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And we took our time figuring it out.
Actually, I did my double major. I have never worked in the same field.
It happens.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
there's still so much value
Yeah.
to the education,
Yeah.
right?
But it's what I'm using now. So I never worked in it, but I'm using it now as I'm writing the books. So finance, and that's what I'm using.
Okay.
Economic development. That's what I'm using now that I didn't work in my work.
So even though you didn't work in that
No.
space, it has still added value.
Yes, it's added value.
I think that's anything we study along the way. Whatever skill, whatever degree, whatever course, at some point in time it pays off.
Yeah.
So what did you start working in after university then?
So I was very fortunate. After I graduated, I wrote my last exam on Friday. On Monday, I had a job working in one of the biggest oil and gas company in Canada called Syncrude. So I worked with them as a data analyst.
Okay.
In maintenance department.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were a data analyst.
Yes.
Oh, all
yes,
right.
yeah.
How long did you do that?
I'm still doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yes. So I started as a data analyst and in a maintenance department where they service vessels that are working in oil and gas. And then I worked for them for 12 years. And then I moved to another company. I worked for them for 3 years as maintenance master data management. And then they sold the company, and then I got laid off. And then I got another job as a business analyst, and they sold that company, and I'm working for that same company as a business analyst right now.
Okay, so even though it was sold, you moved.
So I sold, they took me over. I went
okay.
with the same company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question is, are there a lot of women in your field? At least
No.
from your working experience?
No. It's mostly men.
Okay.
Yes.
Why would you say that is? Do you know?
Because I think most women are comfortable. They don't like, they want to stay with things that they are comfortable with. They don't like trying other things. So let's say if she's an accountant, she just wants to stay in the same accountant. The husband is making so much money. And
Not all women. But yeah.
Yes, the husband is making so much money, and whatever she's making is okay to take home. But I'm a go-getter. I want to. If a man is making 100,000, I also want to make it. So I always ask men like, how much are you making? Though they don't share, but
You find out.
and I find out because I've worked in a payroll department. So I worked in payroll. One thing made me change is like I worked in a payroll department when I got laid off.
Yes.
And then I would see how I was paid $30 an hour. The payroll, the checks I was making, everybody was making over 100,000 to 200,000, 300,000. So I'm like, why am I in this? Here making taking home 50,000. So I was like, I have to change. I can't. That's how I started changing and learning tech skills.
Okay.
So those tech skills led me to getting a better job.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've heard that a lot of people see that disparity between how much men and women are paid. I mean, I guess that's why we're having a lot of these conversations around equal pay.
Yeah.
If you're doing the same job, why is it that women seem to be paid so much less than men? But then you've also given another angle to it, which is like, sometimes the women get comfortable and the men are willing to push further.
Yeah.
Would you say that maybe also professionally what you do is very demanding?
Yeah, I think it's...
In what way? For someone who's watching this and like, data analyst, business analyst, what makes it challenging?
The challenge is you have to learn, like it's skill based. So you have it, and it changes all the time. So you have to keep on learning. So if you're going once in one job and you do not want to I call it skill stacking.
Okay.
Yes. So if you don't want to learn more skill, then you won't be able to move. But the pay gap is still the same. We were paid, as much as I'm in tech, I get less pay than a man. But the variation is not that big.
But it's still a reality.
We haven't hit that ceiling where we are paid at the same level as guys. Yeah. But now at my level now, if I'm going to go for a position, I negotiate knowing that my counterpart is making that how much money is making over whatever money.
Yeah. So you have an idea how much they're paying other people in the same position.
Exactly. So that's why I go with that rate that I am negotiating in the same pay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because what you said about you worked in the payroll department, I'm guessing that was when your eyes were opened.
Yes.
And I think many people, as you said, get comfortable
Yeah.
or they feel like they're doing okay where they are.
Yeah.
They're earning enough where they are.
Yeah.
They don't think about how much are other people earning in the same space.
Yeah.
So that's something. Knowledge is power.
Yes, knowledge is power. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you ever think like you wanted to do something else, or did you really enjoy what you do?
Actually, I did a diploma I wanted to be a social worker. Yes.
So you wanted to be a social worker?
Yes, I really wanted to be a social worker.
You wanted to work in humanities?
Yes,
Okay.
I really wanted to work in my humanities. I was like, I feel, whenever I would talk to people, I would feel for them, and I want to solve like some issues. But then after that, I did a practicum in the social work, and I was like, that's not my calling.
Why?
It I would go home and then think about what everybody's going through. It's like it had so much. It would take so much of my energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, no, there's no way I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be very strong emotionally.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to, I don't know, I think it must be very hard
It is.
to let other people's problems stay where they are when you go home. But
Yeah.
yes.
It's impossible. I think you take them home. Like, when I did the practicum, I'll take them home. I see how these people are struggling and how I can help. And sometimes it's a structural thing that I can't even do anything about.
That you found frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. You wanted to be a social worker.
Yes.
So your book, we don't have a copy, but we shall show it to you.
Yeah.
So A Guide to Building Generational Wealth. That was your first book.
Yes.
Why and when did you write it?
So I wrote the Guide to Building Generational Wealth because of, you see, talking to Jalu on the TV, Ruth Adong asked me one question: why Africans don't build structures? We get to know about financial literacy when we finish university. We don't learn them at home.
Yes.
So the same thing is like happened. I went through the same struggles. Like my father was, that time would consider being wealthy, but then by the time I grew up, he had lost everything. Not everything, but like he didn't sustain it.
Yes.
So then, as I moved from Uganda to Canada, I realized like as women, or people from certain backgrounds, nobody tells us anything about finance. Even when you visit your grandparents, they'll get money and put it in your hand.
Yes.
And they don't tell
We love
you.
our grandparents because of that. They're always like giving you something.
Yes. But they don't tell you what to use it for. Yes, right? So I didn't know how to save. I didn't know how to invest. I didn't know anything about budgeting meant. So, and that had so much on my finances.
Yes.
So I'd make so much money, but it would just go because I didn't budget, I didn't invest, and I didn't save. So then
I was late to the party too. You're not alone, my dear.
yes. So then I was like, sometimes when you're living in those countries, you have layoffs, you don't have any emergency funds. Then yes, so those are circumstances that made me write the book. And then as I talk to women, most of them would say, "Oh, my husband will take care of it." But how come if you divorce, what happens?
Or if he passes
Or
on.
if he passes away. So then I would have most of the corporate women, I would say like doctors, pharmacists, all of them didn't know anything about financial literacy. They all based it on a man. And then when I started reading books to teach myself. Someone told me about how to invest in stock, ETFs, and crypto. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to know. My money is going to get lost. And then
it probably even sounded like another world. I think that's what happens. You're like, I don't know that.
And then he sat me down. He showed me how much he had started. $20, $50, $10. In like 3 years, he had 750,000.
And no, stop it.
I'm not lying.
From $20?
Yes.
We started at $20?
Yes. And yes, because it's not how much you make, it's how much you save.
And how much compounds.
And that's compounding. So I was like, and I was making more than him.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, I was making more than him. So I was like, I sat down, I reflected on how much, like I would go to the bar and we spend on buying bottles and
expensive meals,
trips. And so so that made me realize I had like a realization in my life that things have to change. Then I started reading books. The books I was reading, nothing had examples that are relatable to my African.
Yeah.
Most of them were like Western world, Western culture. So nothing was really talking about the mama papa shop or my neighbor that I know, that how did this person start investing or saving, or so those are the things that made me write. So when I started looking for the books that actually are African, like
Yes.
African examples,
Things
like
that involve black tax.
black tax.
And when you talk about an emergency fund,
Yeah.
the reality that an emergency in your extended family is your emergency.
Yes,
So that
yes.
will tap into the emergency
Yeah,
fund.
yeah. So those things, because all Africans, we all based on our culture, we all community, we live in a community, we help each other. Those are the things that are not explained anywhere in the books.
Yeah.
And that's part of us. That is part of our culture. So
And it's not a bad thing.
it's not a bad
It
thing.
just needs to be, I don't know, regulated a bit, maybe.
Yes. So that's what I started. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to write a book. Then I started it during the COVID time. I didn't have a chance. And then when we went back to work, I was like, I have to finish my book. I showed my friend, and he had read through. He's like, you have to publish this book. I'm like, no, who will buy it?
So
I
at
was
that
like,
point you were doing it, but you weren't thinking about.
no. No, I didn't. I was like, okay, I'll share it with my friends, and maybe they will read it, and maybe it will help their family or someone. Someone said, publish it. And then I took it, I went to the editors, I sent it to them, they edited the first, they sent it back, they said, this is a very good topic. I was like, okay. I was like, but it only, I'm just targeting East Africans. They said, yes, but the tools in the book can be applied all over the world.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. And then I started writing in that short period. I started writing blogs on LinkedIn, talking about the upcoming book and things about my data analyst and how we can relate it and finance it. And then I released the book. First time I released, I had so many requests for my book.
When was this?
June of 2025. That's when I released it.
Okay.
Yes. And then I was like, no, I'm targeting diaspora. But then on Facebook, people were asking, bring it Africa, bring it to Kenya, bring it to Uganda. So I was like, okay, how? And then finally I got sponsors to come and launch it in Uganda. I launched it in Uganda in October of 2025. Then the Kenyans also saw it and they said, you come, we have a women conference in Bomet. And my nephew works in Kenya. He's a lawyer in Kenya, so he connected me to the women. She's a commissioner in Bomet. So she has the women conference. They have like over 2,000 women in the group. So I went there. I was a keynote speaker. I presented it. And then in December of the same year, in Rwanda, the ambassador of Pakistan sponsored me to go and to Rwanda also do the launch there. So I know.
So it sounds like the last year and a half
yes.
has been crazy.
It has been crazy.
But in a good way.
In a good way. And that's how my book came up. Yeah.
You mentioned that, many people don't think about an emergency fund, for example, like when they're laid off, or they rely on the man in their life and they're like, he will take care of us, and they don't plan for that. I'm big about women, but I'm sure your book covers both genders. It can help anyone.
Yes, it can help anyone.
When you were laid off, did you find yourself in a similar situation?
Yes.
So it's also first-hand experience.
First-hand experience. So I was laid off twice, and I didn't have emergency fund that will last me 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And I'm saying, oh, wow, because I know that's a reality for many
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
It's interesting. You took us back to gifting. Now, this is very interesting because as children, it's the loveliest thing to be
Yeah.
gifted.
Yeah.
But if no one tells you what to do with this money you're being given, it builds a culture in us which is all about spend. And I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah.
The focus is on making money. Make money, make money, make money, make money. But it comes in and it goes out just as quickly. So, that means discipline is a very, very big part of this. Because you
Yes.
said savings.
Yes.
And saving
Yeah.
comes with discipline,
Yeah.
comes with self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
And there's something, I think I saw it somewhere in one of your interviews, delayed gratification.
Yes.
Can we talk about that thing? Because people want now. I want to eat it now. I want to experience it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
YOLO.
YOLO. Yes. So when I was talking to most of my friends, they would say, we only live once.
Yes.
But then you live once, but then you struggle the next years.
Mm-hmm.
You have, actually we talked about it yesterday also, you have been paid and then you spend your salary on the things, which is okay to have to splurge on one day
On yourself.
on
yes.
yourself. It's fine. But at the same time, you need to save for the future. So you save for the future. You save now so that you enjoy later.
Yes.
So it's not about now YOLO, but save. Have a discipline of saving, and then you enjoy in few years.
True.
Yeah.
I think sometimes there's a fear people have, which is a bit morbid, but they're like, what if I'm saving now, and I don't get to enjoy later? So I like that you said it's okay to splurge a little bit.
Yeah.
So what is the mindset when it comes to that delicate balance? Like, we're not saying that you must live like a pauper, like you have nothing, right? We're
Yeah,
not
no,
saying that,
yes,
right?
yes.
We're not saying struggle, and everything is in savings.
Yeah.
How do you decide what you can spend and when you can't afford something?
Okay.
Because you may look at your bank account and
Yeah.
you're like, I have money. I have enough to buy this.
But is that a need or a want?
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to choose, is that something that you must buy it? So that's where the discipline is. Is like, do I need this? And sometimes even when you go and buy, you go to the retail and buy a dress and you get home and then say, hey, do I really need this? Can I take it back? And then you look at your money. I was like, how much did I spend on this? Do I need it? If you don't need it, if you can do it away with it, then take it back and get your money back. So it all depends on your needs and wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need it or do you just want it?
Or do you want it? Yeah. It's why I wrote the book Generational Wealth. It's from my background.
And looking at your father.
Yeah, look at my father. Look at what I went through. And
was it just your father? Did you also look at like maybe your relatives?
Relatives, people in the village, like you see families that you have seen. When we were growing up, we had families that were doing well. But as you look back now, you look at those families like nobody is the same as how we is like, oh, such and such a families in the villages are like the wealthy people. But right now, they haven't sustained it. Nobody, when you look back, even their children haven't sustained the same wealth.
Yes.
So you look at the generation, then you look at families, then you look at relatives, then you look at your neighbors that they have not sustained wealth. And then you look at Indians and Chinese and why are they maintaining wealth? But us others are not. Not only Black people, actually, it's also white people also don't have the same generation wealth. So then I looked at that. I was like, okay, we can tell that so and so families, they have had wealth for generations, meaning they have started businesses and they're still thriving in economies. Even when economy is bad, they're still doing well. So you can count in Uganda, you can count so many African families on your fingers. Then when it comes to the Asians, Indians, there are so many. Like we have so many generations. So then I looked at that. I was like, no, we should be able to also maintain our wealth as Africans.
Yeah.
Why? Because we work hard, but we don't build structures. And that's why I looked at it as like, we as Africans, we should start working on our building generation, meaning start talking with your family at a young age.
So it's how you raise your children.
How you raise your children. Because if you come in, you're wealthy and you just hand me over what you're left for me, I will not be able to maintain it because I don't know. I don't know where your vendor list is. I don't know who your clients were. I don't know how you related to them. So those are the things that we don't teach our African children, and we need to start talking to them now.
We need to involve them in what we do so they understand how this money is being made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is something I think we talk about a lot, that there's certain mistakes I think that we make, and I think you see it generational. There's almost like that generation that came from having nothing.
Yeah.
They work so hard to have something. And then when they have their children, they don't want their children to suffer. They don't want their children, so they give them everything.
Yeah.
And I think we see this a lot because many times you hear that, children that come from rich families do not make it far in life. I don't believe that is the truth per se, but I think it's because they're not given the tools, the things that pushed their parents to make the money, to keep the money. They were not taught what they need to do to maintain it.
Yes.
So what are some of those basic mistakes that parents make?
Not teaching children. We need to start talking about financial literacy at a young age.
What does that involve? Because these might be words.
Yes.
Someone is like, okay, what does that mean?
Exactly.
Like, does it mean this is our shopping list? You buy the things on the shopping list.
Yeah.
Is that what it means?
No. No, it means more than that. It means if you start telling them how to save.
Okay.
If you, let's say they do, most of our African kids are not, if they do chores at home, are not rewarded.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So if you need to start like telling them, this is the money that you're going to use or save or for the future. And then if you have business, teach them, bring them. Do the swam. Today you be the cashier, tomorrow you be a cleaner. There's nothing wrong with that. You can even teach them how to work at home, helping a maid.
Yes.
Don't just sit at home and be on your TV and
on your gadgets.
And another big, I think, matter fundamental thing that most of Africans don't do is, if you're firstborn, you're the insurance of the whole family. So there's that big burden.
Yes, that's a big responsibility.
Yes, that big. We shouldn't let our children to be the burden of the whole family. Your nephew, your sisters and brothers are coming up. You must take care of their school fees. So, but I need this. I also need to be able to sustain my family, work hard, and get out of that generational whatever.
That's a good point.
Yes.
So they like push the firstborn to be successful.
Yeah.
And then they should take care of everyone else.
Everyone. Yeah. And then we are letting even children stay home when they are over 30 years. Yes. So that's also a burden, like the burden on a family, the burden of the firstborn, the burden of you as a parent. If you have paid school fees for that child to finish university, I think they should leave.
Yes, they need
Should
to go out
leave.
and make it.
Yeah, go and make some.
Even if you struggle, your mattress on the floor. We did it.
We did it.
Mattress on the floor,
Yeah.
tiny one bedroom, wherever you are.
Yeah.
You have to figure it out.
Yeah. So those are some of the mistakes we're still doing up to today.
Okay.
As African parents. Another thing is that showing us having a will or a trust, because most of the parents, when you talk about a will, they think you're going to die tomorrow.
True.
But you're not preparing your children for the future.
What about the parents who hide? Okay, maybe not hide, but they just don't want to tell. Because it starts with the spouse, really.
Yeah.
Like your spouse should be empowered too. Anything happens to you, your spouse should be able to continue to take care of the family.
Yes.
But also you have parents, it's almost like they hide their wealth from their children. And then later on, they're like, okay, now you must know what to do.
So
Where do you think that comes from?
No, that comes, but that's how they are. I think at the same time where it's coming from is that partners have been killed because of wealth. Let's say
Parents have been killed.
So I don't know how, it's the safety part of it. Because if we show my wife, some people get married for so many reasons, either to have wealth or steal wealth or so many other.
Woo! She's added a layer to this conversation I wasn't expecting. But yeah.
Yes. And then you're worried, if I showed my wife or my husband what I have, what will happen? So they don't discuss those things at home. And they don't even put them in a will. So you're hiding your land, you're hiding your building, you're hiding your bank account, instead of like bringing it in the family and
then something happens to you and it's all lost. People steal it, take it, because no one knows where everything is.
Yes. So those are some of the mistakes I think we need to change. I don't know how the system will help most of us Africans, but I think it needs to change.
But I think it starts with being empowered.
Yes.
So if you don't have people looking at you for everything, to provide every single thing, then there's less pressure. So if your children, like you say, are raised to understand the value of money, to know how to work hard, how to maintain it, then they are not going to be looking at you like this.
Yes.
Like, when is he going to die? Yes. It's a statement people make lightly, but I think it's so sad. Like, they're just waiting for their parents to pass on.
It's very sad.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah. And that's sad because that's how you raise them. Yeah.
True, I guess.
But if you've empowered them and they have finished university, they have moved on, go find a job and help them or whatever.
And they're out there doing something.
That helps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Building generational wealth. What you said, I think a lot of people can relate to when you said you're being told about stocks and crypto and you're like, I don't know, I don't understand this. And many people think it's too hard.
Yes.
They think, let me put it where I can see it. Like, for the longest time, real estate has been a place where people have put maybe the wealth of the family. But now we know there are different ways of going about it, because sometimes you need to be liquid. You need to also be able to access your money.
Cash flow.
Yes. Can you tell us a bit about that? Because after that conversation, did you say, ooh, I can do this?
Yeah.
In money markets.
No, I tried it. Of course, with stock, you have to. So I first learned it.
Okay.
I read about it. And then I started by investing small. $20. People always think that you must wait for 100,000 to be able to invest, but it's not true. You can start with what you have.
And start whenever.
Whenever. Yes. Because I was telling, I wrote it on one of my blogs. I said, you can start, if you start at 20 by investing 20,000, by the time you're 40, you have 1 billion shillings.
If you start at 20.
20 years, yes. Because you put it in something that you'll be compounding, you'll be adding, and by 40 years, you'll be a billionaire.
And that's where the discipline comes in.
Yes.
Because sometimes people, they see the money, they see it growing, growing, growing. They're like, let me take it out first.
Yes. And then
because we see that with retirements as well, with pension funds as well. They finally get this money and then it's gone in a year or two.
Yeah. So then about the stocks and ETFs and mutual funds. So I started by saving small, and I'll lose, and I'll gain, and I'll lose. So then I did something called regression analysis. So of course, not everyone can do it.
Yes.
But there's a reason why stocks go down or go up is because of economics. There's a calendar that banks post. Something is going to happen on this day, and something is going to happen on the other day. So you go to those banks.
So you have to have a bigger picture.
Yes, a bigger picture. So you go to their bank website, you download that calendar that's going, it's called an economic calendar. And then you put it in a regression analysis. So you keep on watching it. If it's going up, if it's going down by 10%, I sell. If it's going up by 20%, I also sell. So you get like a stop loss. Like if it goes down by this percentage, I'll sell. So that you don't lose everything.
True.
Yeah.
Now, if someone does not have that knowledge or the capacity to be able to monitor and act when, you begin to notice those patterns.
Yes.
Is that when it's important to have like an expert
to
guide?
Yes. So there are people who do, they invest on your behalf, and they'll be able to go through all that. You just have to get the profit back.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's why I think everybody needs a financial advisor to look at your profile, to look at the things that you can invest in, to look at your risk tolerance. Are you going to lose 10% and you say, I'm going to die? Are you? Yeah. So those are the things that those who are trained in financial advising can do. I'm not, and can help you. And I think there are so many in Uganda, and I think banks in Uganda do that as well.
Yeah.
So so those are the things I think they look at your risk tolerance. Can you, and then I think they have those questionnaires where they ask you at what percentage, 1, I think 2 or 3. So those will help.
I think the reality is you win some, you lose some.
You lose some.
You have to know that along the way you might lose some.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there are some people like,
So that's what I'm
slow and steady. Let me tell me where that is.
Still,
the options are there.
The options are there. You can you will get a portfolio where you will be gaining maybe 1 to 2%, and you don't want to lose so much. But there are people like I'm a risk taker, so I can go as high as 20.
Because you're able to look at what did you say, the financial calendar,
economic calendar,
and actually say, I see something coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love what you said, that, when you started reading, most of the examples were not relatable.
Yes.
And I think that is very, very important, because for the longest time, we're not hearing about financial literacy or just, generational wealth from the African perspective, which can help anyone in Africa.
Yeah.
Because in many of our countries, because of culture, we're very similar.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you said that, like certain things are not taken into consideration, like community, helping others, extended family,
Yeah.
responsibilities,
Yeah.
black tax,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
How do we navigate that? Because I think in many ways, that is one of the biggest challenges.
But I think if we take about the community, is we have been fortunate in Africa to have community like circles and Stockville, and where we can collectively have money and invest it.
True.
But the only challenge is we have not taken into account that when we collect that money, what are we using it for? So we need community developers to help people with those large sums of money that are seated in the bank, and the bank is giving it to other people to make money, and
Yeah, the bank is using that to make money.
it is using it to make money, and you're not benefiting. So those are the things that we have been fortunate to have financial inclusion in Africa. Mostly East Africa, like in Uganda, when I meet people who have big circles, they have trillions of shillings. But when you ask them what they're using for, they say, we bought land. Land is, you need, yeah, but you need cash flow. Like if I say, hey, let's go and do something, you need that cash flow. So they haven't figured out how to invest it in something that is accumulating money for them, for the members. But because for them it's just we collect money, that's it. But they need community developers, economic developers to help them identify some goals, identify some investment vehicles, where they can invest money that will help them grow their money. That's how they will generate wealth in the community. Because generational wealth is not only for your immediate biological members,
Yes.
it's also for the community. And that's what I wrote in my book, is like, it's only not me. When I'm talking about, it's not my children, the children of my children, but also the community. I personally, I don't have children. But I'm working as hard as for my community and my family, and and
So
everybody.
as you lift yourself up, you and yours, it's better you lift others. Raise everyone together if possible.
Yeah.
Do you think there are any advantages that we have? Because you're mentioning that we already have certain dynamics, certain machines in place, like SACCOs and all of these things. And when we go back in our history, they did a fantastic job of carrying community.
Yes.
It's just now, things have changed a bit.
Yeah.
Do you think that within our structures, because sometimes when we talk about Africans and our culture, it always seems to be going towards the negative side.
Yes.
And I have a strong belief that we have a lot of positives that come with it. So what are some of those advantages that maybe we don't see or we don't take advantage of?
Oh, the advantages is community. We believe in community. Because if you're in Canada, everybody's individualism.
Yes.
But we have, let's say Crystal needs to start a business. It's easy for you to make money because you go to your circle and collect that money and start the business. But the only thing is that when you start the businesses, we do not have support. We do not have economic support where you will help you write a business plan, where you come and audit your books, where you do have systems like point of sale, inventory management, auditing, accounting system. So those are the things we're still lacking. And the good thing
those are the structures.
Yes, the structures that we need. So the good thing, I have developed the same a tech system that will help small businesses, mom and papa businesses, with that same structure that I've talked about. So I'm actually I came to promote it now, but now I'm talking about a book, but I'll be promoting it as well as my take to the mom and papa shop or small business or small businesses as well, for those structures, so that when you're not here, you're somewhere in Uganda, you should be able to see how your business is growing. And with AI, artificial intelligence, you can see what your workers are doing. You can see if someone is cheating time. You can see someone, you have a hotel and someone is just entering in a room without telling you that that room was sold. Yes. So those are the things, the structures like we need to build, like we don't have. Yeah.
Okay, because I think that's also giving me a better idea of the workshops that you do.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing workshops, I mean that it's not just speaking about it, it's actually showing how these things can work in real life.
Yes.
Because I think that's also the challenge when we talk about financial literacy and what you said again, relatable. People are saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you do this, if you do that. But then there are people who are like, okay, when you say start with that 20,000, how? How exactly do I do it step by step? Because if I teach you, you'll teach somebody else. And that's also the ripple effect, I think, of community that we have.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the same way you're sharing this with us, we start to see people also share with others. Because there are some people who, what do they call it? Gatekeep.
Gatekeepers.
They gatekeep.
Yeah.
Someone's like, so what did you do? No, you know, a bit of this, a bit of that. I was saving and investing. But what exactly?
Yes.
What exactly?
Yeah.
Okay.
In my book, I was using examples of someone who started small. She started by cooking breakfast. And then the neighbors said, we are passing by going to work. They say, hey, Kakura has a good breakfast there. We passed by. And then she started that small. And then they will smell the mandazis every morning, chapatis. And then that's how she grew. And then the church people would starting booking her to come and cook. And then she started saving by 250. And then she bought another pot, and now she's hiring people. She hired 3 women in the community. Then another example I gave is like someone in the market selling tomatoes. And then when it's a season, the tomatoes, she would pick the good tomatoes, and then she would start saving by 200 and 300. And then she bought a mkokoteni, and she would just go to the farmers, bring the market, and now sell it to the women in the market. So those are some of the examples.
Step-by-step examples.
Step-by-step examples that I wrote in my book. And that's why my book is now
tell me about the spaces your books.
Yes. Yeah. So I was actually, even if I don't win, I think I'm already a winner. I'm a finalist. Yes.
Tell us what you are finalist.
So there is a Global Financial Inclusion Award that is you submit. The whole world submits. I think now we're about they say it was one of the highest participants. So we submit the workshops we have worked, we submit the, my book also has a course and has an audio book that has come up. Yes, you have a course on financial literacy. It's like a workshop and a self-paced course. Tells you about budgeting, saving, just to break it down. Because like when you go to some of these courses, it's like high level, but mine is just basic, easy to understand and follow. And actually recently someone told me that I followed your book and I've started my ghee business. I was like, oh my God, that's exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, so we submitted everything. I submitted the workshop I've participated in. I submitted the course and my book script. And then you have judges to go and read through your book and see if it's from so many other book readers that have submitted. So I came out as a finalist. Yes. So
and that's the 2026.
2026.
Yes.
So they will know who is the winner end of this May or end of May.
So Global Financial Inclusion Awards.
Yes.
That's what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank
like you said,
you.
even just being a finalist, because
Yeah.
that means your book is literally going to be in like 40 countries. It will be a point of reference in like 40 or more countries.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then I featured in In-Flight magazine of Kenya Airways. And so many people are reading. It's for April and May, still on. So people are reading it, and then I see messages on LinkedIn. Hey, Kakura, I read your article in Kenya Airways. I was going to Entebbe. Where is your book? I'm like, it's at the airport, or it's online, or it's at Amazon. So
that's my next question.
Yeah.
How do we get the book? How do we get the book?
Yes, yeah. So the book is at Aristoc, and here, and it's at the airport, in the airport bookstore, and it's online. It's in Kenya, Nuria. It's on like a Jumia something. Yeah.
Like an
so
online
they deliver.
bookstore.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on all the bookstores global.
So the challenge is not how to get it. You just get it.
You have to get it.
But we're mentioning this book, of course, because right now you're a finalist in the awards, but you're an author of 3 books.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the other 2?
Yes. The second book that's coming up in June, I dedicated specifically to women. Okay. It's women that carries too much. Women that carries too much is like you're working a corporate world, you have children, you have you can't go to some managers, we are still stuck there. So, and then we are not included in so many of the things. Like a man going to talk about finances, he will not involve us in the financial discussions. But we are the ones who take care of everything. Children, school fees. Yes, you pay school fees, but we manage everything. So that's what my book is all about. It's talk about a wealth gap, and so that's what.
And the challenges, and in many ways what's holding women back.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's interesting now that we're talking about women carrying too much.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are now beginning to hear about the mental load that women go through, which is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Things every day. Systems need to run.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now someone can say, here is the system. Yeah. But who's going to run it? We think about the mental load, and like maybe it comes naturally to us as women, but it's a lot, because you're thinking, okay, do we have enough tomatoes for the rest of the week? Then you're like, my child, they have sports day on Saturday. They need new socks. Then you're thinking, wait, the garden, I forgot to call, Then you're thinking, did I load enough power? Isn't the yaka or the light about to run out? There are all these things that are constantly running in your head. And this is on top of your work responsibilities. Your own personal, but then there's the children, sometimes there's the husband, there's the home, there's a whole lot more. There's a community.
Yeah.
The community where you're like, oh my gosh, this one has a birthday coming up, also and so has a wedding. So there's quite a lot. Do you find that sometimes we don't prioritize? Yes. I know it may feel, it's not an attack, but I think sometimes we're so concerned about all these things, we don't decide what is the most important at that point, maybe to even elevate you. Yes. Like you said, to be able in your workspace to go higher.
Yeah.
Do you think we do that to ourselves?
I think we do that to ourselves. We haven't figured out when to let go, or which one is important and which one is not. So we take everything in. Yes, because like I started, when the women that carries all, I started by looking at someone in the corporate world, and you receive this phone call. Someone is asking you for school fees. You're looking at your spreadsheet in the office, and then you have to, last week you paid school fees for someone else, and these phone calls are coming in. You cannot juggle all 3 things. You have to make sure you you deliver the work, but you still have to take care of these people, these emergencies that are coming up. So it's impossible like to be at work. You do at work, you do 100%. But then when you go home, you don't do the same structures that at home. Like you haven't done those structures at home. So you can't be perfect in all worlds. You're perfect at the corporate, but you're failing in home.
That's interesting. Yeah. I think I came across a new account recently, and it's a lady who's a home management expert.
Yeah.
So she comes in and helps in the home build these structures.
Yeah.
So that even when you're at work, they can run without you. And I was like, I mean, it sounds well and good, and it will help a lot.
Yes, because and you've seen it. You're at work, like you've done everything. You're on target, time, deadlines are done, everything is done. Work is perfect.
Yes.
But once you step home after 4 p.m. and go home, everything is disaster. It's impossible to like manage. Most women can't, but some women can. But most women cannot manage this. Like,
True.
yeah. So you need to have the same structures. If we can be successful at work, we should be successful in our own world as well. That's building those structures as well, so that you have multiple things that you're juggling, but you need to be able to maintain those as well. Because even at work, someone is saying, give me this report, give me that. There's so many people are on your desk, and you're able to do that successfully. But we're failing at home. So those are the things that we need to work on.
I remember sitting at a table, a group of ladies, and we're talking about, was it meals? Something like every day. And then one of the ladies was like, I cannot stand every morning. Let's say in her case, she has a house help. We're blessed, thank God, in this country. So every day, what are we cooking? Mommy, what are we cooking for dinner? She's like, no, I can't be thinking about that first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So she has a menu. Just having a menu every week, on Monday, this, on Tuesday, and then maybe you can change the days.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, those are small things that can make a huge difference.
Yes.
Which are the laundry days?
Yeah.
Not every day. Simple things.
Yeah. And then you get tired. Yeah. You get really tired. Your mind is tired. Your body is tired. You can't do it. So you have to have structures.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on that note, how do you manage like that side of your life? Because you've talked to us about, the work side as well, having systems, even financial literacy and doing those things. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you making sure you don't get tired as Kakura? Especially since the last year and a half has been hectic.
No, I think I'm failing there. I have to accept.
I wasn't expecting you to be that honest.
I have to be honest. But I am failing there. But that's why I've decided to write the book so that I should have the same structures as well.
Right.
Because if I can be successful at work, I should be successful at home.
So if you can figure it out at home, you can help others do it too.
And that's why I wrote the book, so that it can help as many women as we can.
Okay.
Yes, because so many of us are failing.
There's chaos.
Yes, there's chaos all over the place.
All right. Well, this has been absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
For someone who's coming across you for the first time, could you just share where they can find you? Maybe you've mentioned LinkedIn. Are you on any other platforms? At least we know how to get the book. But of course, we want to follow up and see what's happening, where you'll be. I mean, if you're doing workshops, I'm sure a lot of people are reaching out to you. So apart from LinkedIn, your name's Kakura Ninsima.
Yes.
Okay. Where else can we find you?
So I am on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Okay.
And X.
Hey.
Yes.
Everywhere.
And so we are trying to organize a women conference for East Africa in the coming months or coming year. And so I'm still looking for sponsors so we can bring this workshop to Uganda. I have to host it in Uganda.
Okay, you want to host it here?
Yeah, in
Ooh,
Uganda.
nice.
So yes, so it's coming. We are planning. It's coming. We are looking for women in circles, women in corporate world, women in financial literacy, women in entertainment, women in tech. Yeah, so that we come together and address some of the issues that we have as women that we haven't addressed in a long time. One of them is that generational wealth. And another thing is that being included in financial decisions, because men have been leaving us outside. So we are bringing our table, our chair, to join this table. Because if
So it's not about a seat at that table. We are coming with everything.
We are coming with it. So we are joining in and we're going to be on that table and make decisions that have been impacting us and see how we can address them. Because I know we can address so many of these issues. And so that we have the better financial inclusion and financial literacy as well for our children and children of our children, because it's us who decides if children will have that literacy, because we are the ones who are spending more time with them.
That is true.
So we are the ones who needs to teach ourselves, empower ourselves, and then we can empower our children.
True.
Yeah.
And also, I think there's a very important aspect to this. You have to lead by example.
Yes.
Because I think one of the most interesting when it comes to dealing with children, raising children, you can tell them, but they look at what you do.
Yeah.
You can't be saying, no, this is not right, but you're doing the same things.
Yes,
because it's a conflicting message.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. This has been absolutely lovely.
Thank you. Thank you so much for hosting me.
A pleasure.
Yeah.
As we wrap up, I know that a lot of the things you're talking about are also about habits and breaking habits, right? Or shifting, adjusting. So as someone who is starting, who's watched this and they're like, I have to make a change. I have to do something differently. What is that one thing you'd like them to start with?
Start with the smallest thing that you can think about. This is a small thing, is like a budget.
A budget.
Just start with a budget. Budget what you're going to buy today for the weekend. Budget your groceries. Yes, start with that small thing. Say, hey, this is how much I have, and this is what I'm going to get, and this is what I'm going to put aside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I have, and I'm not going to spend anything more than that.
Yeah, and then keep it.
Okay.
Yeah. Maintain
We're
it.
not saying just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Maintain it. Start small. Start by like 10,000 shillings. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very useful. Very helpful.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely lovely having you.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see what's coming your way. It sounds like you are on a path that is so exciting. I can't wait to see what's waiting for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Be blessed.
Yeah. Thank you.